This Shabbos, we read in the Torah, Parashat Noach, the Parsha of Noach, the Parsha that tells us the story of the flood that destroyed the world and how Hashem has chosen one family, Noach, and his family to build the ark, and from where the world was saved, and the rest is history. The Rebbe relates to the Holocaust that we just experienced, very unfortunate, a short 77 years ago, as a flood, the Mabul in our generation, and more than in our generation. The world almost came to an end. The Jewish world was destroyed. Hashem had a plan to rebuild the world and brought to the world a Rabbi, the Lubavitch Rabbi, who shortly after the Holocaust, in 1950, resumed and started the leadership of the Lubavitch movement, and in 1951, just 6 years after the Holocaust, inspired by Hashem, has started to change the world and to rebuild the world, the Jewish world, and the rest is history, as we know how the Rebbe, through his shluchim, through his emissaries, and Chabad centers throughout the world, have changed the landscape of Judaism in the world in an unbelievable way. All this started with one young couple who just got married, both as orphans, both Holocaust and communism survivors, both who lost a whole bunch of family members and just got married. And instead of them moving to Israel, to the United States, joining the rest of their family members and the Hasidim, building an ark of escaping the destruction that officially ended in 1945, but there was no light at the end of the tunnel of what is going to happen with Judaism in the world, with Yiddishkeit. The Rebbe says it's time to build an ark, not one ark to save ourselves like Noach, but time to build many arks throughout the world and establish Jewish education that will create a new Jewish world. That young couple were my mother and my father of blessed memory, who had a tremendous zchut, merit, and were sent by the Rebbe to Morocco to establish Jewish schools for girls and boys. And indeed, my father and my mother in the early 60s headed 69 schools throughout Morocco, yeshivas and Talmud Torahs for boys and girls. And then more and more and more Chabad houses, and to date, opening up more and more. And as in our little world, who would ever believe that in our neighboring Montana and Saskatchewan and North Dakota, there are Chabad centers, pillars of light, beacons of light in their surrounding. This Shabbos is the yahrzeit of my mother of blessed memory 11 years ago. She passed away, Rabbi Matusof. What a hero. Just got married, pregnant in her 4th month with the first child, leaving behind her sisters, one in the US, one in France, in Paris. Maybe both of them were in Paris at the time. And goes on a journey with her husband to an unknown land, not knowing a single person, traveling on a train from Paris to Casablanca through Spain to an unknown country, getting ready to raise a family. What a hero. What a Mesilut Nefesh. The reward and the history is unbelievable. The story of how one young couple raised 9 children, many grandchildren, Kenain Hara, great grandchildren, physical, spiritual grandchildren, children who and grandchildren, great grandchildren are involved in the same work, in the same mission of bringing positive change to the world. And just in Calgary, as an example, in Alberta, this Shabbos we're celebrating the Ufruf, the going up of the Torah of Immanuel Shimonov, the son of Rabbi and Mrs. Shimonov, who is getting married this coming Tuesday. All this from that young couple in 1951 who went to Morocco instead of moving to Israel in order to bring education, in order to raise a generation and many generations to come of Yiddishkeit. What a schus, what a merit. On this Shabbos, where I'm going to be the Chazan, pray and lead the services as it is the yahrzeit of my mother, I will pray for everyone, for your physical well-being, spiritual well-being. Each and every one of us has the potential, has the ability of being a beacon of light. If my mother was able to do it in 1951, we could do it with the modern and good world that we live in. May her memory inspire me and everyone around me for a good Yiddish life that we could each and every one of us lead. The Ark of Noah, not only for ourselves to save a single family, but many, many arks, every Jewish home, more and more Yiddishkeit in this world. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.